And hey, guess what? Guys, we're live again. How you doing?
Oh, holy titties.
Holy titty. Off to a smashing start for episode 4 of the Dead Boy Lounge, the horror movie news and culture podcast with myself, Paul Sickboy, and my partner, Tim ThirdxTrick. How you doing, good sir?
Oh my God, you doxed me. Oh man, I'm going to call you Paul like 8,000 times.
All right. Not even on this stream alone.
Oh man. How are you, how you doing? How is your quarantine ending soon?
My shit, you know what? I stopped keeping up with the news on it. I was just like, I'm just going to write this out. I'm kind of not really quarantined to begin with because I do all the food delivery service with the Bite Squad and that shit. So it's like, even if the quarantine was like in full on effect, I mean, I'd still be out and about doing shit. And even during the workday, I'm stopping and like doing shit I probably shouldn't be. But the kid needs to be able to wipe his ass too. So, you know.
I mean, like, are you going out and buying like 32-inch TVs and shit?
I mean, no. I've seen that, dude. Okay, we're getting off subject already, but I got to get this out there. I was doing one of my shopping trips for the grocery side of stuff, and I saw these guys walking out of a Sam's Club. I shit you not, with 3 55-inch Samsung TVs, brand fucking new, like QLEDs. And I stopped myself.
Already died.
On the inside, I was like screaming. I just could not get over what I was seeing at that moment. But yeah, I mean, it threw me for a loop that like generally people's priorities are just thrown out of whack on 24/7.
You cannot save people from themselves.
You really can't. And those are some of them. Like right there, like I kind of like said an internal prayer because that's probably the last time anyone will ever see them alive.
They got the Rona.
They got the Rona because they just got another badass sale at Sam's Club.
This thing was only $400. How could I press it up?
It was totally worth my health. Oh, Jesus Christ, man. Well, let's talk about some happy shit. What did we find in the news today, man?
Oh, hey. Man, act like I am totally prepared. I did tab over. Sorry. So we've got LDD. Living Dead Dolls present Saw Billy, the Billy puppet. Do you want to post a link to that in the chat?
I will post a link to that in the chat. In fact, I'll do the chat one better. And here is a link where you guys can actually check out the doll in all its full-size glory.
Oh my God.
Because it's really what the core of the story is about.
So, I'll just go over a brief synopsis. Often used by John Kramer, better known as the Jigsaw Killer, Billy would inform Jigsaw's victims about the rules and instructions they had to follow in order to survive his deadly games. The LDD presents Saw Billy stands 10 inches tall and features 5 points of articulation. He is packaged in a die-cut window box, perfect for display. LDD presents Saw Billy is available for pre-order at mscodys.com/LD. Well, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to say that link out loud because that sounds fucking stupid when people do that.
That's the link that's in the chat. So the one that he just refused to read, which I don't blame you because reading links can sometimes feel super fucking awkward.
.com.
It's right there in the chat.
Leaning to the right.
So yeah, that's where you can check out the dolls. They actually like. Did you get a chance to see it? Like, or do you have an image of it right now on the story?
I'm about to.
It's an interesting take on the Billy image. I'll give him that. Like, it's not awful. It definitely could have turned out worse, but it's unique.
What the? Oh man,
I was not expecting that reaction.
Bro, his fucking forehead. Bro, it's like my forehead. It's like if fucking Vegeta was cosplaying as Billy.
Shit. Oh, god damn it. Fucking side hurts. Dude. Fucking Vegeta cosplay.
Bro.
You're not wrong.
He's giving you that look like he's about to steal your bike. What the fuck? I hate it, dude.
Dead memes. I hate it. Yeah, that's the general consensus. Bro, like, I didn't want to
video. You gotta throw it out there.
I tried so hard to throw like my stern, just straight poker face. I'm like, I gotta get his natural reaction because that was amazing.
Like, I just opened it up and like he was staring at me like,
I mean, straight through you, right? Like,
I didn't realize this was a costume party. My bad.
Oh yeah, and that's a 6-inch tall figure too.
No, it's 10 inches.
Oh, it's 10 inches? Oh god.
6 inches is forehead though.
That.
Holy shit. Bro, it's like me and this Billy doll have something in common.
It's like something out of, remember that Billy and Mandy cartoon?
The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, yeah.
It reminds me like he would be a character in that cartoon. This specific image of Billy would be a character in the Grim Adventures of Bill and Mandy.
Yeah.
Like, it's very cartoon-like, but to that specific style of cartooning or animation, whatever word works here. It's just,
like a caricature of Billy.
Yes, that is an apt, oh gosh, yeah, that's an accurate description of what we're seeing. He is definitely a caricature of what once was.
Oh, what nightmare fuel.
But given today's episode, I figured that little story would be a cool starting note.
Oh man, I just keep thinking about all the things this guy looks like.
And now you're gonna think about that image when we talk about the movie later.
Possibly. Holy shit. He looks like he would get mad if you stole his cheap pen. He looks like he's got 3 jewels in his pocket. All right.
And if you answer the right questions.
One of them is flavored butthole. One of these jewels has been put in my anus.
And we're running 4 miles, then I so sweaty.
It's been sitting in my underwear all day. Do you trust the Florida humidity?
Ah.
Yeah, that was for you.
That was good.
I've been through it. I know.
Oh man, yeah, there's a reason why they call it swamp ass, ladies and gentlemen.
Swamp.
We should probably move to the next story.
Yeah, let's move on. The rock and roll killer thriller Dark Road 79 releases this May.
Hey.
Distributor Terror Films has acquired the rights to Chase Smith's horror film Dark Road 79. The movie comprised of April Bogenschultz and Eddie George.
I believe it.
David Flannery, Chase Smith, Jessica Sonborn, and horror icon Bill Moseley. Ooh. Yeah, I really like him. A southern rock band known as Dark Roads, whose time in the spotlight has come to an abrupt end, work to regain their fame and fortune by reinventing their sound for a new album in a secluded cabin. One by one, each member of the band comes to a gruesome and untimely end, as survivors soon find out the lead singer of the band has sold his soul to Satan in order to gain the fame and fortune that they've enjoyed. Now it's time to pay up or shut up, and the price is their souls. Written and directed by Chase Smith, creature feature, who also wrote the original soundtrack and has also picked up a few festival awards, including Best Soundtrack, Best Horror Thriller, Indie Spirit Award, and Best Horror Film. Jason T. Anderson, executive producer of this feature. The film will begin its digital premiere by the end of May. The release will include a wide digital rollout over the next several months on Tubi TV, Google Play, Prime Video, iTunes, and many others. Terror Films is sharing the official trailer and poster with fans in advance of the release.
Because what I was reading, the film originally released in like 2017.
Yeah.
So this is like a jump to digital. I vaguely
remember something about it.
Let's see. There's actually a 2020 trailer. Hold on, let me get past the ad and then I'll include it in a
fucking YouTube Red Man. It's $9 a month.
What?
You don't have $5
cheap. Oh, okay. We're gonna start that conversation again.
You don't have. I'm gonna bring that up every time I'm fucking live on anything. I don't care. $5.
You don't have $5. Yeah, oof. Dead memes exactly. Big.
$20 is a meal, and I get that, but $5.
The fact that you can even say the words, I get that. And it's like, no, you actually don't, I think.
You are so removed from $5.
Let's check out the trailer from Dark Road 79.
All right, who's ready to rock out Dark Road style?
You have a week to come up with a new sound, or they're dropping you from the label.
Let's hit the road.
I managed to get us a cabin in the woods so that we could lock ourselves in. We can come up with some new songs.
We're here.
I heard a bunch of hippies lived up here in this commune. They all died.
Ooh, scary.
I heard some counselors let a kid drown while they were fucking.
Why don't the rest of you just get back on your bus and have your drugs and your devil music? You know, you'll all be facing your eternal damnation soon enough anyway.
He's the only one that survived the massacre here.
Reminds me of that old Robert Johnson story, the one where he sells his soul to the devil in order to become a great blues man.
Fame? Fortune? Why not?
Bad idea to try to sneak up on the big bad wolf.
It's not like we haven't done this before.
What are you talking about, man? What's wrong? Let's shoot something else.
The devil.
The devil.
Everyone is dead!
You ain't seen the half of it yet.
I made a deal with the devil.
Well, I'll be going to hell. Hell, I'll be going to hell. Girls and boys will make some noise. They'll all be burning in hell.
Everything's got a price. You'll see.
I mean, I'm gonna be real with you. I love Otis Driftwood, so I'll watch anything he's in.
Muted. I was muted. I don't remember when.
You guys didn't hear all of those like anti-Armenian slurs he was making?
What the fuck?
I'm so sorry. I'm just kidding. We totally love
shit.
Everyone everywhere.
No, we got those. Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate the support. Fucking legend. Geez. Okay, but yeah, so that's the movie. At least we know that the audio for the movie worked. But yeah, handful of festival awards, so not off to a bad start. For what it looked in the trailer, as for I can tell, a decently low budget film.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I have decent expectations of it.
I think maybe just I think the trailer was just kind of. The trailer was bad, but I have high expectations for everyone in the film. You know?
Oh yeah. The cast seems very on point, especially with fucking Otis from House of 1,000 Corpses and
Driftwood.
those amazing films from Rob Zombie. So I mean, that guy has a well storied history in horror movies. I mean, I went through his roster or his resume on IMDb, And yeah, like 95% of his film history is horror films. So I mean, the guy knows what he's doing. I don't know. It looks like a fun watch. You know, that's all I'm really looking for in a movie like that. Like I just want to go in and have a good, fun time watching it.
Let's see what a Rob Zombie horror movie looks like without all the weird swearing.
Wait, what's weird about it?
Have you watched a Rob Zombie movie?
Well, yeah, but I mean,
the way people talk in there, like 4-year-olds are getting up like, "Mommy, maybe some fucking cereal." You
right. Yeah, I think he approaches filmmaking in like, if David Lynch made horror movies, what would that sound like?
Yeah,
and then he makes that movie.
I actually listened to an interview he did where someone was like, "What dialogue in your movies so aggressive?" And he was like, what do you mean?" And the guy specifically played that clip from the first Halloween movie where they're in the bathroom and he's like, "I heard they had to pump the cum out of your sister's stomach." And it's like, dude, he's from Spy Kids. You can't make him say that. And Rob Zombie was like, "I distinctly remember kids in high school talking that way." Like, dude, what high school did you go to? The fucking underage drinking and premarital sex high school? What the fuck?
I mean, he probably went to school in California somewhere. I don't know. I really don't know that much about Rob Zombie's past, but I mean,
turns out he was homeschooled and his parents are just fucked up.
Shit.
Oh,
I mean, that's one way to look at it.
Rob Zombie's never going to be a guest on the show now.
Nah, this will go deep enough into the backlog eventually. People just forget about it.
Yes. There will be lore.
Soy Polynesio 64 is becoming a 6 goddamn, I fucked up my own nickname for people over on the Mixer channel. What's going on? How you doing? Thank you for following and joining the show. Hope you like scary movies and hope you like podcasts, because if so, then you're in for a damn good time tonight. We're actually just about to jump into our movie for the night, so we're going to do a quick intermission because we actually have a special treat for you guys. So stick around for a couple seconds. We'll be right back. All right, we are back, and you might notice a third person with us. Would you please introduce yourself to the kind people out there?
My name is Dead Memes Boy. I like the anime and the horror movies.
He does like anime. I can attest.
Yeah,
I've seen it.
You seen it?
There's some of his favorite hentais.
You motherfucker.
All right, so the movie that we chose for this week is the original Saw of the fucking, 20 some odd movies that have spawned since then.
13.
It's still quite a lot, and I think we've touched on the fact that after so many sequels, enough's enough for some. But we went with the original. I think the three of us can agree is like one of, if not the best out of the entire series.
There's 9 Saw movies.
Shit. That's still a lot.
Yeah, you can just Google that, and Google will be like 9.
Yeah.
There's 9.
It's quite a few movies.
That's not a short list by any stretch of the imagination.
But really, like, what, 3 or 4 of them are watchable?
That seems to be the general consensus. Well, let's throw that over to our guest here. What is your personal opinion on that particular subject?
Can push his glasses up in anger.
Favorite one is the black background.
My favorite one is the trash background. Oh wait, that's mine. I think they all have something good about them, except for the ones that don't have stuff good about them.
That's a fair statement. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So listen. 1 and 2 are the best, respectively.
Correct. Yes, I agree.
I feel like most people are gonna agree on that.
Right.
Yeah.
The Saw 2 was a good sequel just because like it took what Saw was and like added like the kitchen sink and a pit full of needles and
well, it did what the sequel is like its whole purpose for existing in the first place, and that's continuing what the original did and then adding little bits and pieces here to
and then
just
turning it up to 11.
Cranking that shit up, motherfucker. And then they again, like we've talked about this already in the like past handful of episodes, that after so many sequels, they either start to stale out, they start to get kind of run down, or they just flat out don't make any fucking sense whatsoever.
Friday the 13th.
Oh,
did you hear that? What was that? That was weird.
And oh, dude, over on Mixer, have you watched The Ring or Friday the 13th?
My dude.
Great minds, I'm telling you. That's awesome. You couldn't make that shit up. That's great. So real quick, if you haven't, or maybe it's been a while since you've seen the films, the 2004 Saw has photographer Adam Steinheit, played, and I hope I pronounced that right, played by Leigh Whannell, which I believe is also one of the writers of the film. And oncologist Lawrence Gordon, played by the legendary Cary Elwes, Mr. As You Wish himself. And regained consciousness while chained to rusty pipes at either end of a filthy bathroom, where the two men begin to realize they've been trapped by a sadistic serial killer named Jigsaw and must complete his perverse puzzle to live. And all right, we will see you at the next episode. Soy, thank you for joining us for this one, and have a good night. So yeah, that's a quick rundown of the synopsis of the film. And goddamn, if it wasn't a testament to what you can do with a moderately low budget for a movie.
How low was the budget?
It only took them 18 days to film the first
18 days? That's it.
18 days.
That's it. That's fucking crazy, dude.
Do we know how low the budget was?
I'm pretty sure we can. Quick Google search will definitely get us that answer.
$1.2 million.
Dude.
Bro.
Like when you consider an average, like what, since you have it up right now, can you Google real quick what the average indie movie budget is? Because I feel like it's significantly higher than that.
I just wonder where all the extra money went to, because there's no way they paid that much for that one set.
Right. That's a great point.
They went to paying Danny Glover
and Carrie, yeah, the two the two like main billing actors.
Oh wow, it's actually kind of high for a independent film.
Is it?
The average budget for an independent film was found to be $750,000.
Really?
Yeah.
And this was Twisted Films, I believe, was the distributor behind that. Yeah. Now was this was this a first foray for them into film distribution, I wonder? Because if they'd been around a while, then that might be a good reason why they were able to kick up a significantly higher budget than your common independent film. Which, if you think about it, that's really what this was, aside from Lionsgate being involved.
Well, it started out as a short.
Right. Like a film school project for those two guys, right?
Yeah. The original, like Saw started out as a short. Which I'm sure we could find. I don't
came with the original DVD, actually. I do remember that.
Special features. Yeah, Saw was our first movie.
That's pretty crazy.
Holy
damn, well,
shit,
kudos to them for being able to kick up a fucking kick-ass budget like that.
Dude. Saw made the budget over, like, it made more than it. what's the term? It cost $1.2 million to make and grossed $103 million.
Holy shit.
Oh, bruh, we getting paid.
That's what, like 1,000% profit?
Jesus Christ.
Big mouths.
Right? Shit, man.
Big bits.
All right. Well, let's real quick. Let's go over our takes from the film, and let's give our guest the starting kudos. Go ahead and give us your take, your opinions on the original Saw movie.
Personally, I think Saw was a incredible movie. Very pleasing to the eyes. Just that bathroom just made me feel like that'd suck to be in there.
Bro, if you don't open up.
If I don't open up what?
Open up a can of whoop ass.
About what, dog? I'm saying it would suck to be in that fucking bathroom.
That was a shitty bathroom. No pun intended.
It was, yeah.
There was shit on the walls.
There's all kinds of shit on the walls.
And on his fingies.
That's true.
Oh, we've been digging around for a while.
He put the cigarette in his mouth. With the voodoo hand, bro.
Oh, shit. How did I miss that?
Bro, I just thought about that. He put the cigarette in his mouth with the doo-doo hand. Then he's like, oh. This guy's just smearing doo-doo on himself, bro.
He did nothing to get rid of that.
No.
He did not.
I mean, and even if it wasn't that, like, it couldn't have been anything good. Whatever the fuck it was, like, whether it was shit, whether it was dry blood, like, whatever the fuck it was not something that you want going back into you.
No.
So nasty, bro.
Oh, dude.
Keep going, memes. What else do you think about the film?
Yes, ma'am.
Give us your hot take.
My hot take. It's hot take, Amanda. Pretty hot take right there.
His number one gal.
I mean, oh yeah,
Best girl. Best girl.
The best
Amanda,
girl,
best
yeah.
gal.
Oh shit, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
You would describe her as a MILF, I believe.
Indeed.
We don't know if she's a mom, but that's how he would say it.
I was gonna say that's not a bad description. You could definitely come up with worse.
She's cute, but like in a meth addict kind of way, yeah.
Right, and I think
in the other movies where she fucking cuts her hair.
Oh yeah.
And it's really short, then it's like, oh yeah, you're on some shit, dog. That's probably why you're fucking here.
There is a really weird progression of like her aesthetic throughout the movies. Like, I know we're talking about the original for this episode, but just kind of backing off for a second. When you think about the series as like a whole, and you watch her, it's essentially her transformation from victim to, I guess it's not spoiler at this point, but essentially
for 16
critical role player in the later versions of the franchise. It's like she almost does go from like this seemingly like trailer trash type of like I'm always the victim type person to being molded into, and that's probably exactly what he had planned for her, molding her into the perfect ideal replacement or tutor. I insert what you think her better description would be, but
I feel like
insert description.
A little bit of a
Go ahead, Muse.
Her progression was weird because it was kind of like in the reverse order, because when she's in the first movie, when she's in the police station, you can see the track marks on her arm, so you clearly know she's been shooting up. But she just looks like a normal, well, I guess I wouldn't say normal, she's got fucking kidnapped, but besides the kidnapping part, she looks like a normal, very healthy girl. And then was it 2 is the needle pit one where she gets thrown in the needle pit?
Yeah. I think
she just looks like she just completely lets herself go, which I just find really strange. It's kind of like the reverse of like, because you think John probably brought her there, because she wasn't thankful for her life, as in she was doing all these drugs.
Well, and that does
like
kind of fall in line
more.
with the typical behavior of an addict, especially if she's truly playing the role of an addict. There is we're meant to believe a relapse took place, and I think we can safely assume that he then turned it around on her yet again to punish her for this relapse, and like, you obviously didn't learn the first time, so we need to do this again.
But she's probably into that though. She wants the old man, bro.
She may be.
Stockholm.
She's wants that Jigsaw dick.
Don't say it like that. Then I think his dick's like a puzzle piece, bro. And
show me your real Billy, Jigsaw.
I don't want to see
what's Billy packing.
A 5 head, apparently.
Yeah.
Yo, I was so excited to look at that doll. I clicked on it and I went, bruh.
He looks like he's got a Scion that he put fucking neon lights in. Like that fucking Billy. God damn it.
Went from Billy to Chad in 2 seconds flat.
He went from Billy to Robbie real quick.
Jeez, yeah.
Fucking Megamind looking ass.
God damn it.
All right, let's keep this train along moving. Third, you're up, man. Give us your take for Saw.
Oh man. So right off the bat, I'm gonna say this is the most tame Saw movie of the whole franchise. Easily the least amount of blood, the least amount of like graphic content. Like really, it's not even like super graphic. Like if you think about it,
in comparison to like as the later films started rolling around, yeah, I definitely have to agree with you.
It gives me like a feeling of the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, how like a lot of stuff was left more up to your imagination than anything else.
Right.
Like you don't see a ton of terrible things happen, but like you can imagine it. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. I think they worked it that way because of the initially quote unquote low budget. But in terms of like, okay, we don't have the means to make this look good, to make it look believable. Then I think they then had to find a way to make it sound believable, because there's that one particular scene or actually basically is the end of the movie, where someone has chosen a way of removing themselves from the situation, and you can hear every single stroke and every single like cross of those teeth as they cross tendon and tissue and bone, and just all of it is so audible. You don't have to see a goddamn thing to know what's really going down, because you can almost feel it, that it sounds so real. So they invested so much more into the audio that it made up for anything they weren't able to actually put on screen. You know what I mean?
Maybe I'm like an ADR snob, which if you don't know, ADR is the process where they re-record audio for certain parts. Like if you ever hear someone talking in a movie and it just feels weird to the way that like their mouth's moving, that's probably ADR. Or like if you hear someone's voice way clearer in a scene and they're off screen,
right,
that's probably ADR as well. I don't, there's like some weird bits of ADR where you hear like Dr. Gordon talking and you're like, why do you talk like that? Are you okay? Can you clear your throat real quick? You need a cough drop? I will say though that it's awesome they did so much with so little. You know, you have to talk about that small budget, because like it's high for an indie film, but it's low for a low budget.
Right.
Adam got fucked.
He did indeed.
Yeah, my takes are like really like they're really weird. I feel like my notes are more like where I'm gonna shine in this. Memes and I both. I didn't steal your notes.
I didn't see. All right, well, we can. I'll go ahead and give my take really quick, and then we'll switch over to our actual notes and get into the meat and potatoes of the review section here. My initial take is this was one of the few horror movies that I actually wanted to see in theaters, just because it looked like completely different from anything else that I had originally seen. And at the time, I wasn't like a huge horror movie nerd, but if I saw something that was really just captivating, like if it's just something that completely caught my attention, then I would invest that attention into it. And this was one of those movies. It had an actor that I am originally associating with like fantasy type comedies, another actor that I'm associating with like action type comedies. So like removing these actors from their wheelhouse and putting them into something that is completely different from what I think most moviegoers are used to seeing them in was another reason that I was just really, really interested into what this film actually had going on. And as you're watching it, I don't know if anyone else had this experience with it, but as I was watching it, I remember distinctly completely removing the low budget fact out of the picture, because I was so immersed into the story, who these characters were, where did they come from, why are they here all of a sudden having to face this horrifying situation. And by the end of the movie, it was like, holy shit, I just realized that all took place in one fucking room. Whereas through the film, you completely forget any of those little nuances and you're just so sucked into what's going on screen.
Yeah, there's only like 4 or 5 sets in this whole movie.
Yeah.
Like that's it.
Like throughout the entire, what's the runtime? Like an hour and 45, 2 hours?
Yeah, hour and 45.
Hour and 45. So I mean, it's not a long film. And they did, I mean, dude, like you got to think, like what Third said earlier, you got to talk about the low budget part of this thing, because what they did with that little amount of money, shit, the movie that we saw last week probably had 10 times the amount of money they did, and that was a fucking dumpster fire.
Oh God, Behind an Orphanage, bro. It's
It's triggering my PTSD.
I'm telling you. So it's pretty amazing to see the finished product and to see it still resonate so hard within the horror community. It just speaks volumes to what this movie was really able to accomplish. And that's my take.
Yeah.
Yes.
I need to start writing my take down. You always sound so much better than I do.
Oh, that was really off the cuff. I didn't have anything written down for that. I have notes.
I have nothing.
Yeah.
So let's jump into that.
Let's jump into our notes.
Come on, memes.
Yes.
Memes, what's your first note?
I refer to the doctor as Doctor Man, or Doc.
Okay.
So I put Dr. Man is very calm in the beginning. Like through the whole thing, he was very almost the whole thing. He was very calm.
Mm-hmm.
It got really annoying because you had Adam on the other hand who was just fucking flipping shit the whole time, and he's like, "Adam, we'll get out of here, dude." It's so
Yeah,
big.
that's when he sounds like he needs to clear his throat. He's like,
He sounds like Snake.
what the what's one of the lines he
Colonel.
like? I don't. He's talking like this. I don't know how we got here.
I think he's meant to convey the feeling that he's been in this moist, damp environment for like however many weeks on end. So he's probably like getting sick or like getting some form of like laryngitis or some sort of cold or some I don't know, fucking. But it's like, yeah, that was really.
They're both in that room. Like
They got there at the same time.
He's the only one that sounds like that.
Adam wakes up and he's like, ah, what the fuck? Ah. Dr. Gordon's like, calm down.
If anybody was gonna be sick, it'd be Adam. He was in that fucking cold ass water.
Oh, that's
right.
right.
There the whole time, and then he just flops out of the tub and just sits there, wet clothing.
Yeah.
Okay, what's your first note, Paul?
My first note is insanely imaginative and original. I think this movie came out at just the right time. Like it came like timing along with great story, great writing, great cast and all that shit. Timing for this movie definitely aided in its success.
Can we all agree that it definitely launched the torture porn era of horror movies?
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, when you can start a genre, you're doing something right.
Yeah. Arguably, they created that whole thing. Like, if that movie had never come out, it probably would have been another 10 years before we saw Hostel.
Yeah, we would still be watching fucking The Ring.
Yeah.
we would have the American version of The Ring versus fucking The Grudge.
Yeah.
That's where we would be. So let me give you my first note. I just going over notes. I feel like I watch movies way different than you do, Paul. First off, let me say.
Okay, probably right, but go on.
Because my first note is, why are the toilets open without a barrier? You fucking savages. Bro, that whole bathroom, there's no separation. And there's urinals, toilets, and a bathtub? Excuse me?
In my plumbing opinion, it seems like most that toilet that Adam stuck his fucking grubby hands in and it came out even more grubby. It seemed like it was ADA compliant, which means there'd have to be more room cheek to cheek from wall because it needs to be at least 15 inches away from the wall.
How do you know that?
I'm a trainee plumber.
Ah, yeah. Okay. That makes sense then.
Yes.
God damn it.
Hitting us with
Memes,
facts.
Memes, what is your second note?
Adam doesn't trust the doctor at all. And he keeps trying to blame, like trying to accuse Dr. Man to be Jigsaw. And he's just like, nah, dude, I'm not Jigsaw, bro. I'm here in the same situation. You wanna be friends, bro? Here, you wanna smoke? You wanna see my daughter? You wanna come to her quinceañera?
Dude, he doesn't know that Adam's not a part of it, and he's just like, wanna see a picture of my daughter?
Right. A little
And
delusional, maybe.
Dudes.
You think maybe like he takes for granted the fact that, okay, this guy is in the same situation I am, so he's obviously not involved.
I guess maybe people react to situations differently. What's up, low gang?
Well,
yeah, for sure.
God damn it. I feel like that maybe that's like an issue of class, because obviously Dr. Gordon is like, he makes decent money.
Right.
And Adam talks about his shithole apartment.
Yeah, I get the feeling Adam's more of like a freelance photographer, like for a newspaper, something along those lines. He's like a Peter Parker, just without the cool superpowers. Well,
he seems more like he's like a private investigator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he was saying that he was getting paid by the night to follow him.
Yeah.
Right. That's true.
And he's like, people pay me to follow people like you.
That's right. No. He's definitely private investigator. Forgot about the photos. So equally explains the shitty apartment lifestyle, because like those guys, unless they're like really top of the line, like they're getting millionaire clients and shit, they're not making dick.
Paul, what's your second note?
My second note: for a shoestring budget, it can show how good a movie can be with a little more creativity in writing. Through most of these notes, I was thinking about last week's movie. I was like making almost a side by side comparison. Like, look what they could do. Look what they did. They had half of what you.
You had so many Star Trek characters, and you ruined it.
I also had space racism, which held them back a lot.
Spacism.
That held them back a lot. That's why they didn't evolve like Saw did.
Damn it, dude.
But yeah, that's my second note.
You're right. They did a ton. with nothing.
Next to nothing. Yeah. Except for, I mean, obviously this kid just paid a lot more attention in his film class.
Yeah. You remember that comment where the guy who was defending the fifth passenger, and he was like, this was a work of love and it was low budget.
Yeah.
And everyone just believed in the story. Fuck you, bro.
No.
Fuck you. No one believed in that story. Someone owed someone a favor.
Everyone owed one person a favor, and he called them all in at one time.
Saw is a good example of someone believing in a story.
Yes.
Because I guarantee you, Danny Glover went way lower to be in this movie than he normally does.
Yeah, it's easier to believe that Cary Elwes took the initial offer and was like equally passionate about the project, but was less concerned about his going rate, because he seems like he's more flexible with that kind of stuff, in my opinion, just as an actor.
I've never been in a horror movie.
Right. Yeah, he probably did it for the experience more than anything, like your humorous accent notwithstanding. But and then I think you're spot on that Glover looked at this and was like, you know what? I'll take a few million less. This sounds like a damn good fucking story. Like this, I'm getting the shit scared out of me right now just reading this thing.
I'm getting too old for this shit.
I was trying to lead up to it. I'm glad you picked up on it.
I got your back, big guy.
All right, let's keep going with the notes here. What's your next one, Memes?
Adam keeps thinking it's a joke, even though he's fucking trapped in this random room covered in shit with a dead man and a random guy.
We haven't even talked about the dead guy.
Oh, that's right. There is like this elephant in the room that takes the form of a dead body.
Talk about how they don't.
I heard that one. Holy shit.
Brother.
Whoop. Coming in with the subs. 13 months in a row. God damn.
Holy
motherfucker. Thank you so fucking much, man. I love you, brother. Thank you for that support. You're a legend. We're talking about Saw, and I don't know how much you actually keep up with horror movies, but yeah, if that's your thing, stick around, homie. So yeah, the body.
Oh man, so there's just a dead dude in the middle of the room. Doctor sees a dead body. Still cool shit.
Well, I mean, I doubt it's his first.
Obviously.
You right.
He is an oncologist.
Like, how many times has he walked in a room with a dude just blowing his fucking head off?
That's also true. Yeah. Just constantly like that raises just a whole other set of question marks. Like, did this guy on the other side of the room for me put this thing here? Did he do this? Am I going to be next? Not even taking into account, hey, he's also chained to the fucking wall. Like, obviously no one's able to move. There are just so many different questions going on at one time that I think it just adds that extra level of anxiety for the audience member to just go into the, like, I don't know which end is up. I don't know who's doing what. Like, I just kind of have to ride this thing out and see where it goes. And it does an amazing job of just keeping you like 100% keyed in.
It doesn't have you questioning so hard that you're taken out of the story, I think.
Yes.
Like, but you feel maybe as clueless as the characters in the movie. And that, I think, is really good storytelling. Like, you can be invested, still be as like oblivious as the characters in the movie, and have additional info coming in from like when they're doing exposition.
Oh, yeah. That's a really smart take. No, but you're right. Yeah. I could not have worded that any better if I tried. So why don't you give us your next note? But I would.
I'm gonna give you two.
All right.
Just because I really. So why does the doctor have to fake the American accent?
did he have an American accent? Like it kept sounding like he was like switching between like an accent, and then he was like, I was like, is he actually like British or whatever? And it's like he's just really bad at like faking an accent.
Yeah,
kind of, because the actor himself, I believe, is English, and in his previous films, he hasn't had a need to cover up the accent because his characters have all been in like Old English and old medieval England and from that part of the world. So it was like,
dude, he literally says in Robin Hood Men in Tights, unlike other actors who played Robin Hood, I'm actually British.
That's right. Forgot about that. Yeah, you're 100% right. So yeah, it may have been the first time he actually had to put on an accent. And Juggernaut Energy Twitch channel is now giving us a follow. Thank you so fucking much. That is dope, guys. Thank y'all. Thank y'all so very much. And hope y'all like scary movies because we're talking about them. Stick around. How we have not followed.
Third, how's that strawberry kiwi though?
Just
love you guys.
Super good.
I want to get it, bro.
Delicious. And from what, don't be sorry. You guys are fucking awesome. Thank you for coming through anyway. From what these people have told me, when you mix all three, it tastes like one of those fireworks pops, the old popsicles, the red, white, and blue ones.
Oh man.
Yeah. So that's something
we're probably gonna order more soon.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna get
that shirt though, telling you, man, and super soft. Like I was ready for this thing to be itchy, like right out of the gate. I have worn it since yesterday morning when I got in the mail. So love it. Love it. Thank you guys. Where were we? Whose notes were we just on?
Okay, I have one more note I wanna throw out there.
All right.
What if the key went in the toilet?
Well, I mean, he did it once already, didn't he?
Can we talk about how weird it is that they can throw weird things well and like not weird things horribly? There's like this weird dynamic of catch.
They perfectly caught the tape recorder, but anything else, it's over here, over there. It's the one thing he's like, don't throw that, bro. It could break. He throws it, you shot.
Yeah, he's like, throw me your tape. What if you don't catch it? I don't want the tape recorder to break. Okay, cool. But then like he throws a fucking folded picture, and he's just like, Ninja Star,
and it just lands in front of him, facing him, the right side up. Like he can see what's on it. It's like, but you can't throw like a key.
Yeah, he throws that key, and like it's just like.
I swear there was a magnet in the corner by him, bro. Everything was going to that fucking corner next to the toilet. And he's just digging all, like, you couldn't even see. It's so dirty there. He's just digging through the stuff on the ground. Got the key, guys. I don't go to my thing.
They couldn't slide it just across the floor.
Well, the body was
a dead guy, yeah.
Yeah, there was, like, kind of a dead guy in the way.
Well,
you know? They didn't have it, like, taped to tech decks where they could just...
Yeah, I mean, I just... It didn't seem like a lot of thought was put into those particular situations. You know what I mean?
Can we agree though that it's super hard to throw a picture?
Yeah. Oh yeah,
he threw it like some fucking
like Gambit from fucking X-Men.
Ninja Star accuracy. Like
he took that shit and he went
like. Dude, no, he did. He like whipped that shit like it was fucking Gambit from the X-Men, man. Like, and then all of a sudden, like a key, too hard,
too hard catch,
too hard catch. Oh okay. Shit! Yeah, good notes though. That's.
My next note is Adam can't catch,
and Adam can't catch.
I have one more note. I actually have a lot more notes, but I just like to bring this up. They don't have shoes. Like Jigsaw took their shoes, and my theory is that Jigsaw wants shoes, and Adam probably had like a nice pair of J's on when he got like kidnapped, and I feel like the doctor had a nice pair of alligator loafers, and Jigsaw just snatched them shit, and he saw them on like the market or something, and that's how he was like funding this.
Bro, his eBay store is probably on point with shoes.
I mean, he's gotta come up with scratch for all these traps somehow. Like, yeah, he probably makes them, but where's he getting the materials?
Like,
Who's funding this whole project?
Where are you buying all these fucking CRT TVs from? Huh?
You know they got to keep a steady supply of fucking WD-40 on that tricycle, otherwise little Billy ain't going nowhere.
Yo,
where are you getting all these tricycles at?
The walkie-talkies, everything, bro. He's got a premium membership at Radio Shack.
Dude, he's probably keeping them in business all those years.
Gold Star, bro.
He's got Gold Star. How do you fucking remember all these references from Radio Shack?
Bro, they're like, yo, what's up, Jigsaw? You come to get some more fucking cords for your setup, your torture devices? John's like, yeah. And like, yo, did you know we're putting you as the fucking face of Radio Shack? He pulls up, he's got like a fucking nice hoodie on. He's like, John's just standing there like this. Like, this is the new face of Radio Shack, everybody. Clap. All the fucking employees walk out from the back. Give it up for John.
That's John. We love John.
We love John. Back at it again.
Coincidentally, they go out of business like a week later. It's like, yeah, I can't let this get out too much.
Paul, what's your next note?
My next note is we never, okay, and this is just from the first movie. We never actually see the killer, and this movie lets us believe he could actually be just an idea rather than a real person. And they kind of allude to that with the whole like apprentice thing in the later movies, where the whole notion of Jigsaw just existing outweighed who Jigsaw in particular actually was. So it didn't have to necessarily be John. It could easily be Amanda, or it could have easily been Adam for all we know. The idea of Jigsaw seemed more important than the actual person for this movie.
They only show him for like a couple seconds.
Yeah, and even then, like you get maybe like a real quick, clear shot from behind like a silhouette.
Well, in the hospital bed.
Yeah, but at the time, we're not meant to actually know that's who that is.
Yeah.
Can we talk about how Zepp kind of like looks like John?
Who?
Am I the only one that sees that? Zepp?
The guy who kidnapped the family
was running that experiment while watching it.
Like, yeah, there's a resemblance, I think, for sure. The X-Melon is becoming a sicko. Thank you for your follow and joining us for the show. Definitely appreciate you very, 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 very much.
Yes, we appreciate you.
I was waiting for you to keep going.
You are appreciated.
Yay!
Everyone loves Tupac.
Yay. Tupac, he's in Cuba.
He's in Cuba.
Tupac's not dead. He's with Elvis.
I seen it. Go to Reddit.
I saw it on Reddit. He was sitting on the toilet.
/r/
in Cuba.
And I'll
Tupac in Cuba.
I gotta bring this to a stop right now. I'll go ahead and give my last note, and it kind of alludes to what you were talking about earlier, Third, about the actors. With this film, we get to see what happens when good actors see good scripts. That the notion of how much does a movie pay definitely no longer factors into the final decision making. Is like, this is a genuine piece of art and I want to be a part of it. And they brought...
What does a good story mean?
Good fucking stories. Yes.
Good stories. Not bad stories. We got the good story. No.
Quit shaking that gun, man. Quit shaking that gun.
Go ahead and give us your last couple of notes there, Memes.
My last couple of notes, John's part of the Creed. Like Assassin's Creed, bro, he had that hidden blame. That's one of them. I have a bunch of more notes because I was like,
dude, I need to. Oh my god.
One of my favorite one is Adam talks about 15 hookers and peanut butter gangbang. Sounds pog.
Right. Okay. He's living a life. Probably outside of his means, but he's living it.
Fucking living off of beans.
Keep going, memes. More notes.
Sorry, I forgot to read how to read. Tap's the one that pays Adam to follow the doctor and take the pictures, which makes the doctor upset. But there's also a thing that helps in the end with the pictures.
Can we talk about how perfect that is for like Jigsaw?
Finding how all of these players are actually connected before they ever even meet each other.
Yeah. How did he know that Tap paid him?
Mm-hmm.
How?
I mean, Tap was going after him because they were pursuing him hard before, hard. Like, we're talking hardwood.
Hardwood floors.
Hardwood floors. They were pursuing him, and then went in that alley where his fucking partner got the fucking good old to the head, the fucking to the heads, the fucking shotguns, pop up, from the trees, boys. Then he just pursues him like it's he got kicked off the force, and now that's his only thing is to avenge his partner and take Jigsaw down. Where was I going with this? I was going somewhere.
I was captivated though, man. I was going along for the ride. I was ready.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So it all begins with the conflict between Tap and Jigsaw, and it just goes full circle to where Tap becomes kind of like a hero for a minute near the end.
You know what? I think it's more that the fall of Tap in that scenario, because if Tap would have waited, if he would have waited to get more people warrant something, they probably would have caught John.
Ooh,
true.
Interesting.
Well, I don't know, because John was coming up. They had to be at least there for 20 minutes, maybe. Let's just approximately 20 minutes looking around. By the time they would have called for backup or whatever, obviously the dispatcher would be like, yo, what the fuck are you doing out there? You're not supposed to be out there. You don't get a warrant. But by the time they got there, John would probably be strolling up in his fucking sedan, he's got his fucking hatchback, wood panel hatchback,
so
and he'd be gone.
I'm gonna say something that maybe sounds bad. At the cost of one life, because that guy in the chair probably would have died.
He was a no-name.
The no-name guy probably would have died, but they would have got their warrant. They would have had more people out there looking. They would have figured out who owns the warehouse now, and they would have caught John.
Tap's partner would be alive, and Tap wouldn't be kicked off the force.
If it wasn't for Tap's obsession, think about all the people who wouldn't have died in terrible ways.
So Tap is Jigsaw.
Tap was actually the bad guy. God damn it, dude.
He ends up being Jigsaw's de facto curator. This one's good.
Plot twist, this movie is actually about crooked cops.
Jigsaw side mission.
Give us a couple more notes, memes.
So, like you were saying earlier, Adam and the Doctor are both from different parts of walks of life, proving that Jigsaw doesn't I think he says it in one of the movies down the road, or something's mentioned about it, that he's doesn't discriminate between race, age, and walks of life. I think they say something about that in one of the movies down the road.
Yeah, neither the second or the third one. I think he actually more or less spells out what his philosophy is behind what he's doing and why he does it the way he does it. In terms of, arguably he's just justifying horrible acts that he's doing, but in his mind and his perception, he is explaining that if it wasn't for the fact that these people do what they do, a person like me wouldn't have to exist.
You feel like John kind of has a god complex?
Yeah,
Or, like,
I don't know if I
narcissist?
would directly call it like a god complex. There's definitely some delusions of grandeur in terms of like, you know, why I do what I do, and it has to be done, and it has to be me that does this thing because I went through this traumatic life experience that showed me the error of my ways. And then that somehow has endowed me with abilities to pass that along to other people, whether they like it or not.
He has a martyr complex for
Martyr
sure.
complex. That is, thank you. That's why
I will say that he's like the ultimate martyr. He's like, I'm gonna die, but before I die, I'll let everyone know that life is precious by killing them. Like, God damn, bro.
You're all gonna die before me.
He's a
Live or
cult
die,
leader without
make your
the cult.
choice.
You know?
Well, maybe we'll see in the
this
new
movie,
one.
in this
We'll
movie.
see this next movie.
Oh yeah, we did kind of.
Spiral.
Ooh, Spiral
We
does
did
look
talk about
good.
that.
It does
It
look
does.
good.
Okay, I'm gonna go through my notes real quick, rapid fire, and
Rapid
if you pick
fire.
up on the plot from these notes,
It's the lightning round.
you're good on you. Okay,
Let's go. Come on.
so Adam can't catch. Dr. Gordon can catch. The heart is written in doo-doo.
Adam didn't have a dad. Play ball with.
How is Danny Glover not too old for this shit? Forced exposition is forced. Amanda, tell me what happened. Can I just say that whole scene, while not just being highly inappropriate, like as a cop, it's very forced exposition. Like probably the most uncomfortable exposition of the movie.
Huh.
Amanda's still best girl.
That particular scene doesn't really jump out at me right away, but I think I know what you're talking about.
It's when the doctor admits that he's having an affair, so he
Right.
had an alibi,
Right. Okay.
and they're like, "Why don't you just sit here and listen to someone's story that is highly inappropriate and maybe even evidence
Right. Yeah.
that you should be."
We should not be leaving you alone with.
Jigsaw made Amanda kill her first victim. That one actually was super cool to me.
That was definitely the catalyst of what would then transpire in the later movies.
Well, she did think he was dead, though.
Well, she sees him open his eyes.
Like, I don't know.
I mean,
When I was watching it, it looked like she was just focusing on that tum-tum, you know, time to slicey dicey.
right. I have a thought, and I'll bring that up later.
Well, no
Based
thoughts
off
allowed.
of that information that I just brought up. 60 seconds isn't a long time, and that's about Amanda's trap.
Oh, fucking trap, dude.
Yeah.
There's
Her mouth
another
looks fine when she gets the trap off her face, but in the interview, it's all Glaxlow smile and junk. Zepp is weird, and I guess not a bad guy.
Oof.
Cell phones have always been able to call 911 no matter what. Also, smoking kills.
That was a little bit of an oversight, yeah.
Memes is a sociopath who doesn't check the back seat when he gets in the car. Dude.
What the fuck?
Okay, when Dr. Gordon gets in his car, it shows him getting out, and then like you see on that like curved mirror that whoever gets out of the back seat and then comes up from behind him.
Pig.
He gets out of the car. That means Dr. Gordon got in his car, did not check his back seat, and drove off. Have you ever gotten in the car and not looked in your back seat?
You know, now that I have to think about it, no, I don't think I've ever actually done that.
Dude, that's what the fuck?
But then
No
again,
one
like
has-
I have a young child who rides in the backseat like all the time. So now it's
Dr.
just
Gordon
become
as a kid.
Oh, well, that's true too. Fuck.
Yeah,
Like it does
okay.
even if your kid's not with you, and I don't know if you can attest to this or not. But Mayor Bells is becoming a sicko. Thank you for following the channel and sticking around for the show.
Yay!
It does become like a like almost like a like a muscle memory, just like straight habit. When you're getting into the car, you just kind of glance into the back, even knowing full well that nothing or no one is back there, but you still kind of, all right, caring about your
just want to
business.
be like, is there a fossilized chicken nugget in the back seat?
Dad would probably eat it.
Bro, that's a parent thing.
It's not a parent thing. It's a big boy thing.
Yeah. A cigarette has never been thrown so well, or a Polaroid. This is like a weird one because I don't know if you've ever tried to throw a cigarette. I don't even smoke, bro, but I've thrown a cigarette and they're just like, woo, and they
Well, that's
just
the thing.
land,
Like when
3 feet
because I
away.
used to smoke and I smoked for many, many, many years. I never actually just, I never threw a cigarette. I definitely flicked them all the time. And flicking is a much more accurate method of delivery because they'll spin really fast through the air and they just arc.
But it's like a whole ass cigarette.
Well, that's different. I thought you were just talking
And he's
about
just like,
yeah.
you know, and he's just like, you know, he catches it so well.
I guess he didn't catch the lighter either. It went into the shit corner too. I'm pretty sure the cigarette went to the shit corner too, and he just went.
Yeah,
oh, that's some good
He was
tobacco.
Ugh.
Oh my god, this is me like paying too much attention to movies. Who puts peanut butter in the fridge?
Okay,
Yeah,
what?
we talked about that.
Okay,
That's
listen.
bro.
Adam opens his fridge.
Who puts
We
peanut
see him
butter in
like
the
when he
fridge?
gets taken. He opens his fridge. There's peanut butter in the fridge. What the fuck is wrong with you? What the fuck is wrong with you?
No, that's definitely just a matter of like no common sense because that shit's gonna be super thick.
Okay,
He doesn't
now,
want the cockroaches to open the cap and go.
cockroaches. I'm gonna say this next note, and then I'm gonna have to immediately give you some context.
Oh fuck. Okay.
Plot twist: Tap is black. Wait, stay with me.
Okay.
When Dr. Gordon is like, "Who paid you to follow me?" And he's like, "I don't know, some guy." He's like, "What did he look like?" "A guy." And he's like, "Was he tall?" "He was a guy." Like, a tall black guy. You could have started with that.
Oh.
Who I don't know his name.
Yeah, that does seem a little weird that they wouldn't include a physical description with their physical description.
Yeah, how progressive are they? Like, I don't see color. Like,
I mean, he was.
I just saw
like,
death.
They were in the bathroom freaking out. Like, well, they were like arguing with each other. So he was like, "Let me give the shortest answer I can possible."
yeah, Adam was withholding a lot of information that whole time.
But the doctor did the same thing for some stuff too.
He just didn't want to tell Adam that he was cheating on his wife.
And Adam's probably more locked into an agreement with his client that like I'm not supposed to divulge any fucking thing, so I'm going to keep my fucking mouth shut and keep what little money I've already been given in my pocket.
Yeah.
You know, he's probably still operating from a business standpoint that if I say anything, my paycheck goes out the window.
But like Adam hides those pictures. He hides like his information about the X marks the spot.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like he hides so much. And then Dr. Gordon's like, the last 4 digits of my social security number are, and I have a daughter, and like
Mother's made a name.
yeah, like,
Right, here's my blood
Gordon, can you shut the fuck up for a minute? Like you were talking way too much.
He did not stop talking. Like the whole time he was in there, bro, he was talking.
That almost made me feel like when the first couple of times that I saw the movie made me feel like he was involved somehow. Because it's like, why else would he by divulging all this information if he didn't already know that he was getting out of this and he wasn't?
Yeah.
So my last note is Adam's game was literally unwinnable.
Right.
That sucks.
Yeah. Well, do you think it comes down to just he wasn't willing to make that ultimate sacrifice in the end? Or do you think he was just fucked from the very beginning?
I mean, they were both given saws, but the doctor got in his first envelope he got a bullet. And what you got to know if that's just like kill Adam, right? It's like kill Adam or something. And then he also got the cigarette, and he was like, they flash back to the recorder where it talks about the poison in John's veins.
Yeah, it does. Like he literally hears the audio in his head, like, with that much poison in your veins, the only thing you can do is,
Right.
And then on the notes, is smoking doesn't kill, but like Adam will get what's coming or some shit like that. And then like he had so many ways to kill Adam. He knows where to kill Adam, like how to kill him, like right, because he's a doctor. You know what's gonna fucking kill him. They both got equal chances with the saw. The locks were the same, the chains were the same.
What if Dr. Gordon would have been like, "Oh my god, I'm in this situation. All I have to do is kill you. Sorry, bro." Like, no jury in the world's gonna convict me.
Right.
But still, the chains, like even when he quote unquote killed him, there was no sign of the chains releasing. I don't think John was gonna get up and fucking open like.
It was probably part of Zepp's game, though.
Yeah.
Zepp had the instructions.
There was the key in the bathtub.
Yeah, that's part of my thing about his game being unwinnable. His game being unwinnable. John's like, your key is in the bathtub, and you've watched that shit go down the drain.
Yeah, but in later movies, John didn't put it in the bathtub. He told Amanda to put it in the bathtub, and Amanda just threw that shit in there. And in later movies, John gets upset about how Amanda's running these games.
Okay. Let's get film theory. Let's real quick. And then I feel like we need to move on.
Okay.
We've been on this for a minute.
A little bit. That's all right though.
What if John has the three of them, like Zepp, Gordon, and Adam? What if he has the three of them and he's looking for a disciple?
Like he knows his time's coming down.
Got Amanda,
right?
And we know that he's got that other detective who I don't really care about from later movies, Yeah.
But I feel like he's not really fucking with Tap though.
Well, no, Tap's not a part of it. Tap's not even in a game. But he's got Dr. Gordon. Yeah, Tap's like in fucking PTSD land. But he's got Dr. Gordon, he's got Adam, and he's got Zepp, and he's looking for another disciple.
Almost like it's damage control. Like he knows his time is coming down. Like he's not got a whole lot of time left to do what he needs to do. So he probably figures that I need options to hand this over to someone else when I'm gone because this is not done. Like he knows that there's, in his mind, there's quote unquote, excuse me, holy shit, more work to be done. And I'm not going to be around long enough to do it. I need to find someone to pick this up and make sure it gets finished.
So I think that he's just using Amanda and that other detective. I can't think of his fucking name, but you know who I'm talking about, right?
Right.
He's using Amanda and that detective to just help him set up the games that he wants. And he's looking for a third disciple who will actually like follow in his footsteps and not kill in unfair games. Because he knows that Amanda is going to kill, and he knows that the detective will kill. Like he knows that they're not true to the spirit of his games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You think that because if you think about it, he's putting like everybody in their own games. First person to survive a game was Amanda, and Amanda becomes this like assistant to him. Do you think anybody else could have happened to anybody else in any of those games?
I think that he did like a few tests, because if you notice two of like the other two games that they mentioned, other than Amanda, the guy who like burns himself and the guy in the razor wire room, They're both in like a very similar style room, a room with an elevator to go up to the ground. And it's like a basement that's, I'm assuming, soundproof. Otherwise, everyone will fucking hear what's going on. So like, I feel like those were tests. Maybe he's not looking for a disciple at that point, you know? And it kind of makes sense with, if you know the movies later on, like if you know, obviously Spiral, and if you know Jigsaw, and if you know, I mean, do I count Jigsaw 3D or Saw 3D? Because I guess that ties into, if you know the later movies, you understand what I'm talking about.
Well, you did mention, I think, in one of our past episodes, how like it's really hard to figure out what's canon in that universe anymore, just because of how weird the movies got in some of the later iterations.
Yeah.
So I am cautious to say anything other than like this is a subjective, non-objective version of a take on where this kind of thing ends up going, because it ends up just getting so convoluted towards the end. It's just like, sure, count it if you want to, I guess.
I feel like we'll get more answers when Spiral comes out.
That may be like the nice, neat little bookend that we need for the series. It's like this will wrap it all up very nicely, and like where all the other movies kind of miss. It's like this is okay. These hens have all kind of been cut and soldered and sealed, and that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That's it. So we'll see. I have high hopes for it. I'm definitely intrigued to see Chris Rock taking this kind of a role.
Yeah, me too.
It's going to be interesting. But that'll be another episode for another time. I think right now we're going to move into our last segment for this evening and start wrapping things up here for this episode number 4. And this is one I actually came up with last minute, but it sounded like kind of a fun idea. It's called When Good Ideas Go Bad. I have a couple of movies that when I hear the premise behind it and like imagine what the movie could be, I'm like, oh, this is kind of a neat idea. And then the finished product rolls around and it's just kind of really quickly fell to shit. So that's
how we get to the fifth passenger.
And then that's how we get to the fifth passenger. Do what?
Velocipaster.
Velocipaster.
God damn it, memes.
We need to watch it. That's what the fans want.
It's you the
It's
fan.
like the 5th time.
I mean, you got to start somewhere, bro.
Once it becomes a Patreon choice, we'll talk.
There we go.
100 patrons will get to watch Velocipaster and make an episode.
Okay, so
The Fifth Passenger actually was the first movie on my list, just because it was the most recent one we saw. It sounded like this really cool idea with like the oppressive class war decimating most of humanity, and now we're divided between essentially people that live outside and people that live inside. And notwithstanding, but there is a huge divide within subclasses of humanity, and that's like the driving force behind our governmental decisions, our financial decisions, and so on and so forth. And then using a non-class person to kind of break that divide into their quote-unquote military and go on this crazy research mission where she's also breaking another rule and she's pregnant. They're not allowed to get pregnant. There are a lot of really like table-turning kind of twists that they were trying to do with this movie that seemed like a really cool idea, but they just wanted it to be alien so fucking bad that it just
I will say maybe the movie would have been better if it hadn't had so many hats. You know?
It would have been better if it wasn't made.
Well,
if they
that's not the point of the segment.
So many, if they would have gone for so many different like ideas at one time,
right?
Like if it would have been maybe just aliens, it probably would have been better. If it would have been like space crazy, it would have been better.
If it would have been more political,
like,
take one idea and run with it. Yeah, I think you're 100% right. It tried to be too many different types of movies at one time.
Maybe if it was just Alien, it would have been better.
Or that, and maybe seeing some evolution behind your actual quote unquote like villain of this movie. Like we're supposed to be scared of a creature that is barely ever even mentioned or seen in the entire movie.
Guys, the real bad guy is mental illness.
Well,
my fleshlight has more personality than this goddamn alien did.
Oh my god! Or what's that?
and
What's that
again,
website?
like they...
Memes. What's that website?
Fat Life?
No. No, you fucker.
Best Score?
Huh?
Best Score?
No, the one with like all the weird sex toys.
Wish?
AdamandEve.com.
No, oh my god. The one that Vector showed us.
You mean
The
Wish?
what?
No, not Wish. Goddamn. The one that Vector showed us with the giraffe tongue, you know?
No, she didn't show me this. This must have been in your personal call thread.
No, you were fucking involved.
I didn't. I don't remember seeing
Because I
anything
went to the website on the stream and we joked about my reactions.
I don't remember a fucking giraffe tongue, bro.
All right, never mind. Scrap that idea. Sorry, we was talking about flashlights.
There's into some fucking weird shit, bro. God
Yeah.
damn.
I was so curious. Like I just
to my
wanted to
Fat
kind of
Life.
see what happened.
Go to my Fet Life. Yeah. Go to my OnlyFans.
Fans only.
Oh man. So yeah, that's my first, a good idea that just went so bad. Hopefully someone picks up the premise, or maybe they just, they kind of get another crack at it later on down the line.
Please don't take another crack at it.
The sixth passenger. God damn it.
Seventh passenger. The baby's pregnant
dude.
now.
I have one other one for here, but I kind of want to see where you guys are. What's another one that you can think of that was a good idea, but it just did not get
But
its
a poor
right treatment?
execution.
Poor execution, yeah.
Any
The Last
sci-fi movie.
Exorcism.
Any sci-fi? God damn, man. Come on. Don't shit on the genre.
Hater.
I love sci-fi movies, bro, but God.
Not that
Go,
one.
go, Sharknado. Yo, can we talk about the MILF from Sharknado? Let's be real.
No.
This is not a Sharknado episode.
The Last Exorcism.
The Last Exorcism. Okay. Why do you think that did not get translated?
Why did it go poorly?
Yeah, why did it go poorly?
Because it's like,
One.
because I was 3 days away from retirement. No, because it was like trying to be found footage. It was trying to be like religious horror. It was trying to be like, because it came out shortly after The Exorcism of Emily Rose.
Right. Yeah, there was like a real trend for like supernatural possession type horror movies for that like 5-year period. It was really weird.
Yeah. It was bad. It wasn't scary. It was shaky cam and like jump scares and like, oh, the power of Christ compels you, but I don't believe in God. Like that's the character, bro. Yeah, he's like, this is my holy water that you can buy on my website for $19.99. Like, bro, fuck, man. Have you ever seen it?
Yeah, but it was like I kind of got where you were, and it was just like, but for me, it was just like, okay, this is just another fucking exorcism movie, and some fucking. I think there was a barn in that one too, and it took a lot of really just like nuancy type of ideas from other movies, and then just mashed them all together.
He's a faker. It's actually happening. It's found footage, jump scares galore.
Yeah,
Still getting hate.
Still
getting hate.
Yeah, dude, it's just bad. It's bad all around.
No, yeah, that's a damn good choice. Yeah, that's definitely a good idea, but not so great at the end. Sorry.
No.
What about you, Memes? You got one?
Give us a movie. What's a great idea with a poor execution?
Star Wars.
Oh, come on, man.
Triggered.
Yeah, bro.
Look at his microphone.
Bro, look at my microphone.
It's
Code bra. Code bra.
Oh my god. 10% off. Raid Shadow Legends.
Raid Shadow Legends. I think they need to make a Raid Shadow Legends movie.
No memes right now off the top of your head. Give us a movie.
That could have been better.
Great idea, poor execution.
Green Lantern.
Horror movie, you ding dong. This is a fucking horror movie.
not just any movie. Come on.
Culture
I mean, it
podcast.
was a fucking horror. That fucking CGI, goddamn! I tell you, fucking what.
CGI mask was scary. Motherfucker.
I don't know, bro. Like,
We can't run this episode on technicalities, man. Come on.
I think each horror movie has its own things, but I guess The Exorcist could have been better. Honestly, I thought it was a joke.
Ooh. Okay. Hot take.
I watched The Exorcist with my friend. That's the one where he's like blah, 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 fucking floating around.
Yeah,
right?
the let Jesus fuck you and all that cool,
Yeah, fuck
really
you,
cool
Jesus.
legendary stuff.
I remember she said she's gonna fucking pleasure herself with the cross. That was my favorite part of the movie. But bro, I
I'm
laughed.
so
the whole-
triggered right now.
I was eating my fucking corn puffs, bro. Watching the movie, I was laughing the whole time. I didn't even think it was a movie.
I'm
I'll be
ending
real.
our friendship right now. I'm unsubbing, unfriending, unfollowing.
Bro, I can't lose your subscription, bro. What am I gonna do about that $5?
Oh, my face.
Man, we're gonna.
I mean, I appreciate your honesty. You know,
I mean,
That's-
I haven't watched in a while. I don't know, but from what I can remember, I think it could have been better.
I mean, that's your opinion. You're welcome to it. That's the
you're
whole reason
entitled
why
to
we
your
asked.
opinion.
What?
You're entitled to your opinion.
Yeah, that's
you are right.
the whole purpose of the segment. So no, thank you for contributing. The last one that I had was The Wicker Man.
The
He
Wicker
fucking
Man.
he's got bunnygasm, bro. He's a fucking.
You're sub. We got a fucking sub in chat, boys.
Hardware Barbecue coming through a hose. That's right, $5 a month. That's it, man. You know you got
Only $5, chat. Only $5.
How the fuck are you doing, man? Thank you for joining us here tonight. It is a pleasure to have you here. Bad Bunny is awesome.
Bro, all I care about is the meme. That's all
the
I care
real.
about.
That's the real horror movie right there.
GG.
GG, dude. Oh shit. But yeah, The Wicker Man, for a lot of people that, if you don't know, was actually a 1973 remake in 2006 and is primarily and arguably the source of many of our favorite Nicolas Cage insane face memes.
Yeah.
That just spawned
The bees.
so modern day boxy.
Bro, I'm telling you right now, that's my favorite fucking Nicolas Cage meme ever.
Which
What
one?
about Sawzall?
The bees.
What about Sawzall? It's Sawzall because it's a Sawzall. Have you seen that one?
No.
It was from like this movie. Like all the parents turned like fucking ravenous. It was like from pig flu or some shit like that, and they're trying to kill the kids. And he's like busting on the door. It's called Sawzall because it's Sawzall.
I know what you're talking about. Never mind. Okay.
No,
That's
that
a good
escapes
one.
me. Shit.
I will tell you the movie. I'll tell you the movie later.
Okay.
We might put it on the list.
Oh, dude, and yeah,
I'll watch it again.
Fuck yeah, we'll do it.
Basically, it's The Happening, but instead of making you want to kill yourself, it makes you want to kill your kids.
What the fuck?
I mean,
That's the whole story.
It's going on the list. I feel like we need to talk about this.
Oh man.
But yeah, I feel like The Wicker Man was a really cool idea. That, I mean, I haven't seen the original from 1973, but the Nicolas Cage version was fun to watch, but it was just such a letdown at the end. Like, it was that, for me, it was really why the execution was just super, super poor. Was just, it left you, it just left you kind of disappointed. You know, like it wasn't really anything climactic. It wasn't anything that was so over the top terrible, but it was just kind of blah.
That movie is touch me in the morning and walk away.
Yeah.
Lots of good build up and no release, you know.
Yeah.
Preaching, boy. Preach to the choir.
Oh.
Tupac's in Cuba.
Tupac in Cuba.
So if you haven't seen, maybe you're not aware of the movie. It did come out a significant amount of time ago. Sheriff investigating the disappearance of a young girl from a small island town discovers there is a larger mystery to solve among the island's secretive neo-pagan community. And I am kind of curious as to why they labeled it as a neo-pagan community, because it didn't really seem pagan-like and all that much, except for like the sacrificial element of it. But then that's
Burning Man, bro.
it was Burning Man. Yeah, it was like a weird Burning Man without all the cool drugs and crazy sex.
Yeah, way less naked girls, like
way less. Yeah. It felt more Mormon than pagan to me.
It felt more like a juggalo gathering to me.
I swear to fucking God. We watched a documentary about the gathering of the Juggalos.
Was it recently?
Yes.
No, it was 3 years ago, bro. We watched it recently. The fucking video was from 3 years ago.
No, I mean, like, did you watch it recently?
Yeah.
Because that would explain why it's still so fresh in your mind.
He's traumatized by it.
There's juggalo parts I want to forget.
You know, I'll speak good on them for taking the fortitude to cancel that shit. You know?
They're more responsible than Georgia.
I mean...
He's got a point.
Juggalos care more about juggalos than fucking Georgia government cares about Georgia.
Basically, yeah. That was the consensus behind that entire story. But yeah, like as you're going through with him through the investigation, as he's talking to people, and it's all like super creepy, and it leaves this wanting from the audience that like you're invested now emotionally into the story. You want to find this little girl almost as much as he does, and then by the end of it, you're just kind of like, this is where it went. Like how did we get here? Like I still don't understand where the transition happened and why this plays such a significant role into.
I wish they would have gone supernatural with it
a little bit, right? Like at least it would have made it more palatable. I was going to say believable, but even that, you don't want that to be believable. You want that to be fantastic in a way that's almost inexplainable without the supernatural element behind it.
If we could have got some like, oh my God, like that would have been super cool. But we didn't get that. Instead, we got fucking Nicolas Cage just
ah!
They're stinging me inside.
It needs more explosions.
Yes.
More fire, definitely. Would have
more
helped.
fire.
More Burning Man, please.
More Burning Man.
More burning people.
I will say that Nicolas Cage's death in that movie made me go.
Was pretty great, right? Like
yeah.
you at the like. Even without the disappointment from the movie, like you still end up with a moderate emotional attachment to his character because you kind of feel bad for him at that point.
He was set up.
It was pretty gruesome, man. It was pretty bad.
Like 9/11, that was an inside job.
Oof.
You fucking both said oof.
I thought this was like
a double oof
friendly stream, bro. I thought this was a family friendly podcast.
Hey, I imagine there's some pretty great horror movies that could be created just based off of a conspiracy theory.
Bush.
I mean, we could easily pervert an idea worse, like bad enough for it to be scary.
Are you saying 9/11 wasn't scary enough as is?
Oh man, I fucked up. Now we're talking about 9/11.
Happy birthday, Third.
Yeah, that's my birthday.
Is it really your birthday?
Yeah.
Oh, what the fuck,
Sorry.
man? Happy birthday. Jesus Christ. He keeps all these weird secrets. I think his birthday. Goddamn.
Yeah, Monka S for sure.
I think we can safely wrap up this episode.
Yeah.
What about you
Means
guys?
you have
Anything
any
else to
like
add?
awesome words of wisdom?
You're gonna regret asking me. Sub with Twitch Prime. Also, Joe Nuts' funny joke.
Yeah, that's what I expected.
I have no idea what's going on.
It's a very inside joke.
That's okay. We don't we don't have to go into it right now.
Memes, thanks for being on the show, man.
Dude,
Thanks
absolutely.
for having me on.
No, 100%. Thank you for being here. Tell everyone where they can check out your personal content, where they can follow you. Go fucking ham, dude. Plug yourself. Plug your shit.
You can follow me on Twitch. I'm a better streamer than Third. Not as good as this podcast, though. Let me tell you what, brother. But Dead Memes Boy. Boy with an I. Memes with a Z. One word. All lowercase. You'll see a gorilla's looking icon. And then
He does have a super awesome fucking icon. Like,
should be the same thing on Twitter.
yeah, just Dead Memes Boy.
And I'm more
I think I spelled it right.
Yep.
I'm more how you say special acting on my own stream. I'm kind of being tamed right now.
Memes is pretty high energy in his stream. Like he gets excitable.
Okay. Respectable.
Shout out to all my gamer girls out there.
Thanks for being here, buddy. We'll see you again soon, I'm sure.
And as they say, get to the chopper.
And I love that dude.
Oh, that's some funny shit. Funny shit. Cool episode, man. I dug that one. And I feel like when we touch on episodes that are of like more popular films, like with this one, that maybe like a handful, if not a greater number of other groups, podcasts, shows, reviews have talked about, I get a little tentative just because I feel like we're stepping on people's toes maybe a little bit. But when we do it, I don't know. It just feels different in a way, and we definitely have our own spin on these types of films. So it was fun. It was like getting to talk about it as if it had just come out like the weekend before, and that's kind of what I dig about doing this show.
I like to watch the movies like I like to watch the movies like they're fresh to me, you know?
Yeah. Like you're
Which is
watching it
cool,
for the
'cause-
first time all over again.
Exactly, because we watched Friday the 13th over, and like I watched that like it was the first time. I literally The Collector, watched that like it was the first time. So
Getting to
fucking
discover
good.
that one for the first time was really, really cool.
Right?
You know?
Yeah,
So, yeah.
I really dig that about like the way we do this. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah,
We're,
man.
we're so creative and
We're getting
smart.
good at this. It's like we know what we're doing.
Oh my God. You're over there being all daddy with your podcast.
Oh.
Hey, do you want to let the people know what the next movie is going to be?
The next movie. Yeah, we should probably do that. We're doing a special Mother's Day episode, as has been requested by my wife personally, that we cover this movie as a Mother's Day gift. And for next week, we're going to be covering a adaptation from Stephen King's Midnight Meat Train. And if you haven't seen or heard of this film, it's probably as gross as it sounds. So be in for a fun, good, slasher, bloody, gory time that is sure to be had by all next week for episode 5.
Oh, next week. Oh, man.
But I want it now.
All right, Veruca.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Do you want to leave the people with words of wisdom? I feel like I do it all the time.
Well, that first one was just so good. You set the bar really high, so I just wanted to kind of keep going with it. I'll fall back on an old family favorite. Wherever life may take you, don't eat the yellow snow.
Nice.
Yeah, that's an old Ford family favorite there. So
words of wisdom. You doxed yourself more. Words of wisdom.
I feel like at this point it doesn't fucking matter.
Tune in next week when we learn Paul's address.
Oh man. All right. Well, I think that's going to do it for us for tonight, guys. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for all the follows. Thank you for the sub. Whoop, you're a fucking legend, dude. And I will never forget you, man. I love you. Thank you for everybody that was hanging out and just enjoying the podcast. Catch the recorded episodes on Spotify, Google Play, Apple Podcasts is still in the works. I don't know why there's a hang up with that right now, but there is. That always tends to be like weeks and it's whatever. But keep an eye out for announcements. We will be making sure that you all are all in the know when that goes up. And as of course, be checking the YouTube if you want the video versions of the show. And yeah, that's really about it.
Follow us on Twitter.
Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Instagram even if you're feeling froggy. All of it looks the same at Dead Boy Lounge. Catch up on all kinds of cool happenings. Occasionally we post pictures and we keep up with our social media presence online.
Subscribe to my only. Okay. Sorry.
Oh, dude. Okay. So yeah, we'll leave you with that. Thank you all again. We'll see you all next week and watch the movie. Watch the movies. Come in
Midnight Meat Train.
Hang out with us and talk about it. We're watching Midnight Meat Train. Maybe we'll do like a movie night thing. Just be following us on social media because we're always announcing crazy ideas out there. All right. We'll see you guys next week. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Peace.